Some C4 on a scoop of pre-workout wouldn't hurt. Oh shit, are you filming this? Let's grab that up. Yo, welcome to today's video. I really didn't want you all to see that, but I need every advantage that I could get if I'm trying to beat guys on PEDs. So let's head straight to the gym right now and crush an upper body day workout. By the way, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to drop a like and comment for the algorithm, but let's head to the gym now. Yo, I'm not kidding when I say I'm trying to get any advantage I can get to beat guys on PEDs. In case you already didn't know, I will be competing in an unnatural federation in efforts to get my IFBB Pro card naturally. And yeah, I know it sounds a bit crazy, but without trying to sound cocky, I do believe I have the genetics to do it naturally, and of course it all depends on who shows up on the day. Anyways, to increase my chances of this happening, I need to make sure my training split is optimized as much as possible. Not only is my training split optimized based on my goals, but each exercise has a purpose, and there's even a reason why my exercises are sequenced the way it is. To be honest, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I hope I can also inspire people to really reflect on how they train, and if the way they train, the exercises they choose, the amount of volume they do, is it really helping you reach your goals as fast as possible? Yeah, you can train like an ultimate bro, crush yourself with lots of exercises and volume and still make gains to an extent. But why not just pay more attention to the little details to optimize your training a bit more to make even more gains? To tell you all the truth, I used to be that guy that would do lots of exercises and volume when I was newer to training, and I would completely ignore how my body felt. My recovery was absolute dog shit. Progressing in weights was harder, and it took me some time to really figure out that I'm leaving so much more gains in the tank if I optimized my training. Once again, I'm not trying to sound egotistical in the slightest way here, but it's one thing to work hard, but what separates myself from the pack is that I work both hard and smart. Let's talk a bit about my training split. I follow an upper-lower split with an arm-only day. It goes like arms, lower, upper, abs, repeat. If you have been keeping up with my content lately, you will be aware of this, but essentially with this split, I'm allowed to hit my arms 3 times a week, with the majority of my arm volume being on my only arm day. My arms used to be a huge weak point, not so much anymore because I've been following the split for a while, but for anyone with any weak or lagging muscle groups, following an upper-lower split will open up more room for you to train weak muscle groups with an increased frequency, which will definitely help with more growth. Anyways, before I ran this split, I used to run a push-pull leg split, and even though I did make solid gains running this split, I realized training 6 times a week was not the best for my recovery, and ultimately it made it harder for me to progress from week to week. But in hindsight, I could have made it better if I significantly reduced the amount of exercises and volume I did in the past, but still, in my opinion, an upper-lower split where I'm training 5 times a week, or even a full body split where you're training 3 times a week, or any split where you're training 5 times a week or less would be better than a push-pull leg split where you're training 6 times a week. It's just harder to recover from training that much unless you reduce your training intensity following it. Anyways guys, let's talk a bit about my training session shown here. So as you saw earlier, I started off with an anterior delt shoulder press. I always get asked why my bench is set at an inclined angle while doing these. Well, it's so I can get a great stretch in my front delt while keeping my forearms perpendicular to the floor. Next up, I moved to an incline hammer press superset with a lower lat biased pull down, which was done with a supinated grip to further bias the lats. Next up, I did a mid to high lat biased row. If you paid attention, you would have realized I had a forward inclined posture doing that to further aid in me biasing my lats. Following that, I did cable shoulder laterals. I made sure my arms came in front of me within the scapular plane, and I finished off with only one bicep and tricep exercise. As I said earlier, I have a whole separate arm day where the majority of my arm volume is done, and there was only one chest exercise done because my chest is a very strong point. The workout was very back, in particular lat focused and shoulder dominant, because I believe these are body parts I need to bring up if I want to be competitive on stage. Anyways, this was a very rough workout because it was done with my girlfriend, so it took forever because we both did the same exercises, and I made sure to push her. So between myself training hard, making sure she trains hard, plus getting footage was very difficult. So I would really appreciate if you all could drop a like, comment for the algorithm, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And until next time, peace.